Welcome to our exploration of the Brahma Sutra. The Brahma Sutra, also known as the Vedanta Sutra, is a foundational text of Hindu philosophy that systematically explores the nature of Brahman, the ultimate reality. It consolidates the teachings of the Upanishads into a structured philosophy and serves as a guide for spiritual seekers. The Brahma Sutra, authored by Badarayana, Vyasa, is part of Uttaramimamsa, Vedanta, and presents a logical framework for understanding Brahman. It is written in aphoristic style, requiring extensive commentary. Great scholars like Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, and others have interpreted it through different philosophical perspectives. 4 chapters of the Brahma Sutra are 1. Samanvaya Adhyaya, Understanding Para-Brahman, the Supreme Reality. 2. Aviroda-Adhyaya, Refuting Objections from Other Philosophical Schools. 3. Sadhana-Adhyaya, Spiritual Practices and Meditations for Realizing Brahman. 4. Phala-Adhyaya, Liberation and the State of Liberated Souls. The key teachings of Chapter 1, Samanvaya Adhyaya, Section 4, Sutras 107 to 134, are organized into 8 topics. Each topic examines different aspects of the relationship between the ultimate reality, Brahman, and the apparent world. This helps us see through our mistaken identifications. In this section, the text explains that before one can truly know Brahman, one must first understand the limitations of our ordinary perception. The errors or mistakes arise when we confuse our body, mind, and senses with our true self. The aim here is to prepare the seeker for a deeper inquiry into the nature of Brahman. This is done by clarifying how various aspects of our experience point to a single, unchanging reality. Topic 1. Anumanika-Adhikaranam, Sutras 107 to 113. This topic deals with what is inferred, anumana, regarding the nature of reality. It argues that the terms used in the scriptures, for example, the Mahat and the Avyakta in the Kathopanishad, are not to be understood in the same way as in Sankhya philosophy. Instead, they point to the deeper reality that is ultimately the body as a simile, not the undifferentiated material cause, pradhana, as some Sankhyas claim. When the scriptures speak of the great principle or the unmanifest, avyakta, they do not mean the inert material, pradhana, of the Sankhya's. Rather, the inference, anumana, is used to show that these terms refer to the visible, embodied self, and not to a separate, non-sentient material cause. In other words, the qualities attributed by inference in our texts point us to the higher self rather than to mere matter. Recognizing that our inferences about matter do not capture the true nature of the self helps us avoid confusing our physical or mental forms with our eternal essence. Topic 2. Chamasa-Adhikaranam, Sutras 1-16. This topic clarifies that the term aja, unborn, mentioned in the Svetasvara Upanishad, does not refer to the inert pradhana as described by the Sankhyas, but rather to the creative power of the Lord or the primary material cause produced by that power. The aja of the scriptures is not the same as the basic material substance that some philosophies describe. Instead, it indicates a divine, creative energy, an expression of the Supreme that brings forth the universe. Understanding this shifts our perspective from seeing the world as a result of blind chance, mere material cause, to recognizing that it is a purposeful creation powered by divine intelligence. Topic 3. Sankhyopasangraha-Adhikaranam, Sutras 117 to 119. This topic shows that the list of principles given in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad should not be interpreted in the same way as the 25 principles defined by Sankhya philosophy. The scriptural terms used to describe the origins of the universe in the Upanishads are meant to illustrate the nature of the self and its relation to creation. They are not a literal enumeration of material elements, but rather a symbolic way to direct us toward understanding the nature of Brahman. By appreciating the symbolic language of the scriptures, you learn to see beyond the literal numbers and descriptions, focusing instead on the deeper message that all aspects of creation ultimately point to one eternal reality. Topic 4. Karanatva-Adhikaranam, Sutras 120 to 121. Here, the discussion centers on the concept of causality. The sutras explain that although there may appear to be conflicts regarding the sequence of creation, the scriptures do not contradict themselves when it comes to the nature of Brahman. Brahman is established as the cause that is intelligent, and this is consistent across the texts. Even if there are different views on how creation unfolds, every scriptural passage agrees that the ultimate cause, Brahman, is an intelligent, conscious principle. Any apparent conflict is resolved when we understand that creation is not random, but a purposeful act of the Supreme. This teaching reminds us that, rather than getting confused by different theories of creation, we should trust the unified message of the scriptures, which point to a deliberate, intelligent origin for all things. Topic 5. Anumanika-Adhikaranam, Sutras 122 to 124. This section addresses the concept of balakya, often associated with the inherent power or capacity present at the beginning of creation. It demonstrates that what is meant by the power of creation in the scriptures is not the individual soul or the prana vital force, but Brahman, the supreme intelligence that is the source of all power. The power that brings forth the universe does not come from a collection of smaller forces or individual souls. It comes from Brahman, who is all-powerful and is the true origin of everything that exists. Realizing that the creative force within you is not limited to personal power, but is a reflection of the infinite Brahman can inspire you to act with greater humility and wisdom. Topic 6. Samanvaya Adhyaya, Sutras 125 to 128. This topic explains how the expression of truth, Vakya, in the scriptures is both descriptive and definitive. It shows that the utterances of the Vedas, when understood correctly, lead one to the knowledge of Brahman, because they are in complete harmony with the nature of reality. The words of the scriptures are not random. They are carefully chosen to reveal the true nature of the Supreme. When you study them without adding your own opinions, they guide you directly to the understanding that Brahman is the source, sustainer, and ultimate refuge. Learn to listen to the scriptures with an open and receptive mind. By doing so, you will discover that they contain a coherent message about the unity of all existence, which can help dispel doubts and foster a deeper connection with your true self. Topic 7. Prakriti-Adhikaranam, Sutra 129-133. This topic is concerned with the concept of nature, Prakriti. It teaches that the material world, with its changing forms and phenomena, is not separate from Brahman, but is merely an expression or modification of that infinite reality. Even though everything in the material world is constantly changing and appears to have limitations, it is actually a transient modification of the unchanging Brahman. Nature is simply the way Brahman expresses itself in the world of time and space. This understanding helps you to see that your worries about the impermanent things of life are like chasing shadows. The true, unchanging self is not affected by the rise and fall of the material world. Topic 8. Sarvavyakhana-Adhikaranam, Sutra 134. The final topic in Section 4 focuses on Sarvavyakhana, meaning all explanations or commentaries. This sutra shows that the various interpretations found in the scriptures, though they might seem diverse, are all aimed at revealing the one, all-pervading Brahman. Although the scriptures might seem to offer many different explanations about the nature of reality, they all point to the same conclusion, that Brahman is the supreme, eternal truth. Their differences are only in style or emphasis, not in substance. By recognizing the unity behind all scriptural teachings, you can overcome the confusion that arises from conflicting ideas. This helps to cultivate clarity in your spiritual practice, guiding you toward the realization of your true unlimited self. In conclusion, this Section 4, Sutras 107 to 134 of Chapter 1, emphasizes that true knowledge of Brahman is not attained by relying solely on our limited inferences or sensory perceptions. Instead, it is through a careful study and interpretation of the scriptures, with their various methods of explanation, that one can see past the superficial differences of the world. The teachings stress that the inferred aspects of creation, Anumanika-Adhikaranam, must be understood correctly, so that one does not mistake the body for the eternal self. Terms like aja are used not to point to inert material causes, but to the dynamic, creative power of Brahman. The scriptures provide a unified, harmonious view, Samanvaya Adhyaya, that establishes Brahman as the sole, intelligent cause of the universe. The material world, Prakriti, is just a modification of the infinite, unchanging Brahman. All commentaries, even if they appear different, ultimately aim to direct us toward the realization that our true self is not limited by the body, mind, or nature, but is one with Brahman. By studying these teachings with an open mind and through proper meditation on the scriptural truths, a seeker can gradually dissolve the errors of identification with the temporary world and come to experience the eternal, blissful reality of Brahman. Please like this video, subscribe or follow this channel, and share the timeless wisdom with the world. Om Tat Sat.